DreAllDay.com.
Dre Baldwin, DreUniversity.com, DreAllDay.com, WorkOnYourGameUniversity.com. Talk today about the duality of feminism. And this was actually sparked by a comment somebody left in a very actively engaging conversation I was having on social media just the day before I recorded this. Some woman had wrote this long diatribe, this feminist diatribe, talking about how women deserve all the rights that men deserve, and y'all know how some of these women talk. Some of these liberal white women, she claimed she wasn't liberal. She claimed she was somewhere in the middle, but it was a very liberally white woman-y comment that she made, very Karen-ish commentary that she had left. And I responded to her and basically told her that she was incorrect and started this whole back and forth conversation. And what it led to was the point that I want to make here is that she has started off the conversation by explaining that a woman can basically do everything a man can do. A woman is equal to a man is not above a woman in any aspect. That was generally the tone of what she was saying. Those are not her exact words, but that was the tone of her messaging. And then I came in and logically broke down what she said and explained to her why she was very incorrect. And then as I started explaining to her, we started to have a little bit of back and forth, and this drew a good amount of attention. So other people were jumping in the conversation and seeing what we were saying to each other. And she eventually did what some of you call a Karen, what sometimes a Karen will do, would start off the conversation basically talking shit and talking about how you're this and that, and no man is above you in any way, shape, or form. But then as soon as it looks like things are not working in your favor, all of a sudden she pulls out the damsel in distress, and she's a victim of this man who's coming in and not allowing her space and not allowing her to say what she wants to say. And then someone left a comment, and they put this very eloquently. It was a very well-worded comment. They said exactly what I'm explaining to you here. They said, in Western society, a lot of feminist women exist in this duality, where on one hand, they're saying we're equal to men and we can do everything a man can do, and there's nothing that puts a man above a woman. And they will go and preach that and chant about it and be all high and mighty about it when they're in their safe spaces where they can get away with saying this bullshit, which is usually amongst other women and or amongst feminine energy men, which are basically male feminists who have no balls and are not willing to tell women the truth to their faces. So they tell women things that appease them just so they can get a round of applause for women, and basically to appease their emotions, but they don't want to tell women the truth because they don't want to deal with the possible backlash that could come from telling a woman something that might make that woman uncomfortable. These men, I call them feminine energy men for a reason, because they are feminine energy guys. See, a man who does not have a need to appease a woman or just tell her things that she wants to hear will still be respected by women. They may not get a round of applause by all women, but they'll still be respected by women. See, these men who are saying things just to appease a woman or to get a round of applause from women, these men are not really respected by women. They're liked. There's a big difference between being liked and being respected. And a lot of these dudes are just straight up pussies, and they'll just say anything just to get a round of applause from women. And some of them, not all of them, but some of them do this because it's the closest they will ever get to an attractive woman paying them attention, so they say these things. But anyway, that's not even my point. And the duality is, on one side, the women are saying all this female empowerment, we can do everything a man can do, we're equal to men, even better than men, etc. That's one side of it. Then the other side of it is when a man comes along who has no need to appease you and doesn't need to tell you something that makes you feel good and tells you the truth directly to your face, which is men and women are not equals, and there's a reason why society was built by men. There's a reason why society is maintained by men. There's a reason why if a woman gets into a dire situation, she usually calls on a man to help her out, whether that's her husband or boyfriend, whether it's a police officer, or even somebody who doesn't even exist. If a woman goes out to a club and she wants a man to leave her alone, what does she say? I got a boyfriend. She makes up an imaginary man to defend herself. Society is built by men. All right, these cars that we're driving in, built by men. These roads, paved by men. These structures and the infrastructure, all designed by men. Society was designed and built and generally is maintained by men. When we got to the point that society was so well off and so safe that anyone could kind of participate in generally, not completely, but generally maintain it, that's when we started bringing women in. So this is how you get women CEOs and women presidents and women prime ministers. not because women are equal at running things as men are. They're equal at maintaining things that have been built and already sustained and already put into a safe and what's the word that I would use? Safe and it's the wrong street. Safe and let's say sustainable existence by men. You can continue to exist and sustain what's happening in the United States with a woman as president because of the infrastructure built by men. But back when it was volatile, back when the president, being the president of the United States, might get your head chopped off any day of the week, there were no women who were trying to take that office. See, it only happens, you only get this, women wanting to be CEOs and women calling themselves bosses, etc., etc. And that's another one. I'm a female boss. I'm a male. I'm a boss, and all of this stuff. I don't need a man. All of that is a situation when you're being co-signed for. But the flip side of it is, again, when things are rough and things are not so easy, and a man comes and tells you some truth to your face, all of a sudden the woman falls into the distress mode, the victim mode, the look at this terrible man saying these terrible things to me, making me feel bad, holding me accountable, holding my feet to the fire, telling me the truth to my face. He's an asshole. He's a jerk. All women should avoid this man. No woman should ever want to be with this man. You're a Neanderthal. You're a terrible man. You don't understand how modern society works. These are kind of things that you hear back from women when, as a man, you hold them in check. But if, as a man, at the same time, the exact same man just co-signed on the bullshit the woman said, she loves him. And this is the duality here. And it's like these two opposite ends of the spectrum when it comes to feminism. And I've said this about feminism already. I will say it again, and I will continue to say it as long as feminism continues to be an issue, and I predict that it will continue to be an issue, is that feminism only exists because men allow it to exist. If men stopped accepting the bullshit being preached by feminism, there would be no more feminism. Only reason feminism exists is because some woman decided, hey, I should preach this idea that women are equal to men. And some man said, yeah, you're right, women are equal to men. If the first woman who came up with the idea got told by a man, shut the fuck up, no, we are not equal, no, we are not on the same plane, if push came to shove, no, you cannot do what I can do, you would not put your life on the line to defend your rights or your ideas or your positions or even your land. Therefore, we're not equal, because the bottom line of communication amongst human beings is some form of physical violence. If you cannot physically defend it, it's not yours. If a man had just said that to a woman at the very beginning of this idea of feminism, feminism never would have come to exist. But because some pussy man allowed it, now we have what we have now. And this is all men's fault. This is not women's fault. It's men's fault. Women are who they are. If men just put their foot down and stop accepting and co-signing the bullshit, then the bullshit would disappear very quickly. That pretty much applies to any aspect of life. Any aspect of life where there's some bullshit happening is because men are not holding the fort and telling whoever is responsible for the bullshit to cut out the bullshit. As soon as that happens, all the bullshit ends. All bullshit is the responsibility and should be laid at the feet of men who are not manning their posts and not doing their jobs of letting whoever's responsible for the bullshit know, cut the bullshit. Period. End of story. You can think of any aspect of life where there's some bullshit going on. Guarantee you there's a man who didn't do his job, who dropped the ball somewhere along the line that led to that happening. Guaranteed. Feminism is but one example. So what I was talking about here again today was about this duality when it comes to feminism. I'm the boss on one side, and as soon as you get checked, I'm the victim of a man. You were just the boss of men 2 minutes ago, but now you're the victim of men as soon as a man is not willing to bend to your nonsense. Men, I would suggest you not try to change any of these women's minds. I suggest you just stand your ground in the position that you hold. Find a woman who already understands what I'm talking about here. Those are women you want to be around, not the bosses. You don't want to be around a woman that's a boss, because if you're a boss yourself, there can't be two bosses in any organization. Every organization must have a boss, not multiple bosses. Just like every car has a steering wheel, but they might have 10 seats. Y'all get it? All that said, everybody, workonyourgameuniversity.com or DreUniversity.com. You can go to DreUniversity.com. You want to have me as your direct coach. Let's get to work on your mindset, strategy, systems, accountability. Now, not later. Work on your game. Dre all day.